Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers after the recent balance changes. So this might change a little bit when the hypercharges come out at the end of next week. We got told that it should be towards the end of next week. Of course, things can change, so I won't be doing a tier list until those hypercharges come out because the things will shift. But for now, these are the best 15 brawlers inside of the game. So all of the meta information and everything like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We'll be doing daily streams, and we've got a second channel where we cover the meta as well, so make sure to check that out. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So at number 15, I went with Draco. So Draco, I didn't know where to really put him. I don't think he actually gets played much in ranks, but when it comes down to pro play, he's pretty good. It's still the fact with Draco, his hypercharge is still completely busted. It just takes a little while to get it going. You might only get one super unless you have a really good matchup. He's got a broken gadget that keeps him alive for 2 seconds, but again, it's all about the hypercharge. It's all about the pop-off moment. Draco's like the best hot zone brawler, and then he's a good counter to brawlers like Hank, other tanks as well that he can feed off. But yeah, super strong brawler in the meta, and with the balance change, well, he didn't get a balance change, so he's still really good. Before we move it into the rest of the brawlers, there's a couple of ones I want to mention. I think Ruffs has a chance to get in top 15 if other brawlers got more nerfs. I think he's really underrated. I personally would actually put him close to the top 50. I mean, close to the top 10, honestly, but I didn't want a lot of backlash in the comments. And we've got like brawlers like Ash, there's a few other ones, Gene, etc., that are just on the outside of top 15. But anyways, we've got Amber next. So Amber is a really good brawler in the meta right now. You can just consistently go Amber everywhere. Inside of ranks, it's like a safe brawler to pick pretty much in every single map and situation outside of knockout and bounty. She's really good in hot zone, a great counter to a lot of the meta brawlers like Tara, Charlie, and just overall can at least compete against some of the assassins with the help of her gadget, Dancing Flames, and then the hypercharge. It takes a long while to get, but once you get it towards the end of the game, it will equal a team wipe. So Amber's just ultra consistent right now, and easily one of the best. Next up at number 13, I went with a Kenji. So Kenji is still incredibly meta right now. There was a brief period when he got a hypercharge nerf, and he wasn't really being played too much. Then people just quickly realized that Kenji is still just on his own without the hypercharge, a really solid brawler. You just need to be a good Kenji. You need to be patient, and you need to just hit your supers. If you start chaining your supers, you start healing so much, and the opponents just can't deal with the constant healing with the gadget, just the lifesteal with his main attack. And then eventually a good Kenji will get his hypercharge. Takes a little while, as I said, because it got nerfed quite heavily, but the hypercharge itself is still completely broken. They nerfed it like 3 times, I believe, and it is still fundamentally busted. Like, you're just guaranteed at least 1 kill, and even if you don't like trap 2 people within that hypercharge super, you'll land and you'll be able to kill the next person easily. There's nothing that they'll be able to do because of that pull. So yeah, the hypercharge completely broken. I hope they just fix this in the future because we don't want broken hypercharges. So yeah, for now, Kenji is still a top 15 brawler. Number 12, I went with Gus. So Gus is still such a versatile brawler in the meta right now. It's just not really many situations where Gus isn't viable. The good thing is about Gus that he can defend himself against aggression. So normally Gus in the past, without his hypercharge, he would get overwhelmed by these hypercharge brawlers, assassins, and tanks. Well, now Gus has a hypercharge of his own, and just his basic super anyway can help knock them back and give him a little bit of breathing space. He has got some okay DPS, especially with his Cookie Popper gadget. And the good thing about Gus, you can play him in every single game mode outside of Heist. Just don't play him in Heist, he doesn't have the damage for that, but you can play him everywhere. He's not really counted by many brawlers in the meta. He's just a solid pick overall. But the 11th best brawler in the meta right now, I went with Hank. So I've definitely seen the play rates of Hank plummet quite a lot, even in the monthly finals not too long ago. He wasn't being picked nowhere near as much as before. He did, I think, receive, I forgot what nerf he received. I don't think he received any of this balance change, but the ones before, which impacted him a lot more than people realize. But I still think he's a solid option in the meta. He's just pretty good into everything. The only big problem with Hank, people start to realize some other like tank counts into, for example, like you can get a lot of Draco hypercharge from a Hank, and Draco's hypercharge is better than Hank, so you end up winning there. Same goes with Kenji, so that's probably why he's seeing the play rates go down a little bit, because he's getting countered a bit more by these meta brawlers, as well as like, you know, Kit, Cordelius, like these brawlers can just feed hypercharges from Hank. Anyways, Hank still a pretty good brawler in the meta. You can play him in a lot of different situations, and he still has so much survivability with his gadget, with his healing, with his super. He's still a menace on certain maps. Now let's move into your top 10 brawlers in the game right now. Starting off at number 10, it is Shade. So some people, especially the pros, probably favor Shade a little bit higher, but I still think Shade is only good in niche situations. But anyways, I didn't even mention that he had his nerf reverted because of a bug or whatever. This happened to another brawler in the past, I can't remember, but it's happened with Shade. So now he needs 2 supers to get his hypercharge super instead of 2.5. So this is what it was originally when it first came out, and it just led him to being broken. So yeah, that's been reverted. He's just absolutely insane right now. You're able just to chain like crazy, especially on a map like Triple Dribble, on a map like Parallel Plays, any map with an abundance of walls. Shade's just going to completely delete everything because his hypercharge is one of the best in the game easily. So yeah, Shade is definitely back in the meta again. Next up is the 9th best brawler in the meta right now. I went with Crow. So another brawler that didn't receive any nerfs, funnily enough, but Crow is such a versatile brawler in the meta, and the most annoying thing about him now is that he's well, he can turn himself into an assassin now, but it's because of the HP buffs on top of his shield gadget, which has a really short cooldown. You're just like a mini tank now. Like, how has Crow gone from being one of the squishiest brawlers inside of a game into being like unkillable, especially if you're using extra toxic star power and you're poisoning the opponents? You're getting that extra bit of HP as well on top of the shield, on top of the HP buff, on top of the shield gear as well. Like, there's just so much health on such a squishy brawler, and he's able to, again, now he's able to jump on top of people and actually survive, where in the past he couldn't do that. And yeah, he's just really good pick into most things. He's just safe. There's not really any hard counters out there for Crow right now, unless there's just a ton of aggression, or there's like Tara pets or Charlie pets. Outside of that, he's such a fantastic pick. Was the 8th best brawler in the meta right now. I went with Charlie. So she's starting to go down the meta a little bit, mainly because it's just better high impact brawlers right now, but Charlie's still a fantastic option. And again, she's always a safe pick because of the range buff she received not too long ago. So Charlie, you can play her as a lane in gem grab or a mid. A lot of pros prefer her as a mid right now, just because of so many tanks and assassins. At least she can defend herself because, of course, of her super, and she's got the range to compete with other mids thanks to her Spiders gadget and the recent range buff. And then, you know, Charlie, you can easily play her in Brawl, you can play her in Hot Zone, you can play her in Bounce, you can play her in Knock, you play her everywhere. I mean, she's not like the best pick in all of these situations, but she's a meta one. She definitely is one of the better ones. And in Heist as well, I think Heist is the best game mode right now, mainly because the Heist meta right now is mainly like you at least have one defensive brawler, like a Charlie, Cordelius, Art, whatever it is, and then you have like 2 aggressive, or like at least 1 aggressive. You always got to have 1 defensive brawler is what I'm saying. Charlie's like the best for this by far. She's such a good defender, especially if you've got like a Chuck incoming, you've got a Kaze, you've got a Melody. Charlie can deal with all of that, maybe even by herself. So she's fantastic in this meta. But into the 7th best brawler in the meta right now, I went with Lily. So Lily received a nerf to her hypercharge projectile speed, but that didn't do anything. We all knew that. I was very disappointed by these balance changes, by the way. They were so underwhelming because it didn't really change the meta, and it didn't change Lily at all. Lily's got so many problems. So projectile speed was the #1 problem in my mind, but I don't think it was nerfed heavily enough because you can still easily hit it. But there's a couple of problems. The first one is that her hypercharge, I think, only takes 3 supers to charge up, but that is just not a problem, especially with the Vanish gadget. You're able to get probably 2 or 3 Lily supers easily in one game, especially in gem grab. And the biggest problem is that Lily and the hypercharge, yeah, you can't get team wipes with this hypercharge, but it's still like in a 1 versus 1 across the map, like you can guaranteed kill that brawler no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's even a tank. If you hypercharge super into them, you'll kill them. So this is probably because of the stat boost, but well, it is because of the stat boost, but it's just still broken. And then on top of that, you've got Lily's Vanish gadget, which has always been a problem in the past, but it's just, you probably seen on a stream the other day, I was just raging so much because fundamentally this gadget is so broken and it hasn't received any changes really. Well, it hasn't since its release, and it's got to be by far the best gadget inside of a game. Like, I do even need to explain why it's so good. Vanish gadget is completely and utterly busted, and I'm hoping they fix this pretty soon because I'm fed up of it. Right. Okay, so Lily's 7th best brawler. Now moving into the 6th best brawler in the game right now, we have Jae Young. So Jae Young is one of the few brawlers that in the game right now that hasn't got a hypercharge. I was going to say one of the few brawlers on this list that hasn't got a hypercharge now. And he's just such a good brawler in the meta. You can play Jae Young into everything. I swear, I always lose versus a Jae Young. I feel like I need to start banning him more because of his versatility. The speed shot is so annoying. It's like he can always hit you and you can just never hit him because he just has infinite speed through every single attack. It's crazy. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he's always just chipping you down and being annoying. And when you're about to get him low, well, he just has the heal super that he can pop out an instance and just heal up. And then if you get close to him, like you should be able to counter him, well, he's just got the damage gadget and just deals an absurd amount of damage. So Jae Young's so versatile, and his hypercharge isn't anything crazy once it's released, maybe next week, but it's still going to make him look that bit better. So yeah, easily a top 6 brawler right now. We're going to be moving into your top 5 brawlers in this current meta, starting off at number 5 with Kaze. So another brawler that didn't receive any nerfs whatsoever. I mean, Kaze is not like completely done broken. It does take the right player and skill set to make her work, but I still think she's fundamentally so strong in the game right now. So the first one is literally just because of her invisibility gadget. You can pop this so frequently, pop in and out of bushes and just surprise the opponent. That helps you build up your super. And then with either super, both supers are really strong. The Fanstorm super is really good and a lot better than I gave it credit for to begin with. And then you've got the Ninja super as well, which of course with any low DPS brawler, especially like Bounty and Knockout, you'll just get a kill for free, guaranteed. And then a hypercharge super on top of that is just completely broken and can just lead to 2-3 kills with ease. So as well, you've got the fact that in her geisha form, you're able to have unlimited ammo basically, and just the way you can go around the map is just crazy. It really is. The amount of pressure you can just get with her just attacking is just insane. Right, Kaze, insane brawler. We all know that. Let's jump into the next one. Next up is the 4th best brawler in the game right now. I went with Lumi. So this might be a little bit controversial because in the pros' eyes, I think outside of Kit, Lumi probably is number 2 because in terms of pick rate, ban rate, Lumi's just always picked and banned because she's just so good and versatile into everything. In the casual mind, they don't even think Lumi's like meta at all. I mean, her win rates for the casuals are like really bad, so that's probably why they didn't nerf her. But at the same time, it's like, how can a brawler be so strong at the top of the meta, not receive any nerfs for a long time? Lumi has been the best brawler in the game, if not top 5 brawler since her release, right? She's just absolutely insane, and it comes down to a lot of things, but the main thing is just her overall control with her main attack. It's just too much, even with the recent range nerf. In the last balance changes, she didn't receive any nerfs, like I just mentioned, and her gadget is still really toxic fundamentally. The amount of damage she puts out is just crazy. With no attack delay, you're able to spam through attacks so quickly, and when there's like assassins or anyone like getting close to you, you've got the slow stop out that can help you not allow them to bridge the gap, and just the pure damage that you get with the recalling of your axes, whatever they're called, it just deals so much damage. It's just insane. And then Lumi's super can be really good. The hypercharge, yeah, she's used everywhere. You can use Lumi into everything as well. She's easily a top 5 brawler. Moving into the best 3 brawlers in the game right now. Starting off at number 3, I'm going to put Cordelius. So I'm happy to say I was really right about this prediction in the previous meta. Literally, after playing him for like an hour, well, not even an hour, a few games, I knew that Cordelius was going to be broken, and he still is. He didn't receive any nerfs, crazy enough. How did Cordelius not receive a single nerf? I have no idea. Like, what? His damage is insane. He received a 200 damage buff per projectile in the previous update, and he still is just broken. So I knew Cordelius would be good because the meta was screaming out for like a good tank counter, and Cordelius is a 1 versus 1 machine. If he gets within your range, he will delete you in a flash, literally before you can even think. His unload speed is crazy, and the damage buff just makes him win every single 1 versus 1 interaction. It's just absolutely bizarre to me how he didn't receive any nerf, and Cordelius can be used into everything. He's really versatile with his kit as well. You can use both gadgets, whether you're facing off against other tanks and assassins. You can use mute. His jump allows him to counter throwers, etc. Yeah, Cordelius easily one of the best brawlers in the game. So now jumping into the 2nd best brawler in the game right now, I went with Bonnie. So Bonnie is still one of the best brawlers easily. So I think with the recent balance changes, they just made it so it takes 1 extra shot to get your hypercharge super, and I was like, huh? What, 1 extra shot? What is that gonna do? That's gonna do nothing, because the hypercharge is completely broken. There's hardly any counterplay. The only counterplay really is the user using the hypercharge super. I mean, I can't really talk because I'm a terrible Bonnie. I miss every single Bonnie jump, but the pros are gonna land this every single time, and they're gonna get a kill. Again, there's basically no counterplay unless you have a jump mechanic of yourself. So you're able to fly through these hypercharges like crazy still. Bonnie is really, like the fact that you get your super back instantly was such a good rework, and you can use Bonnie everywhere, every single game mode, every single map. You can use a Bonnie because she's got really good range, she's got a lot of health, and she's got a gadget that can help her against her typical counters, and then she can counter her counters with a jump. It's just, yeah, but it's all about the hypercharge. So the hypercharge is just completely done broken, and it didn't really receive any meaningful nerfs. So I'm just a bit confused by these balance changes. So now moving into the best brawler in the game right now, hands down it has to be Kit. So Kit received a nerf, making it so it takes 2 extra shots to get your hypercharge super, but they secretly, I think it might actually be better than before this nerf. So yeah, Kit now with the hypercharged super, it deals damage. So you think of, I think the only brawlers that could survive a hypercharged Kit super was like the Dracos, the Bulls, etc. Like you would just barely not be able to finish off the kill. Well, thanks to this buff now, you're able to jump on top of them, deal the extra damage with your super, which you didn't before, and you just shred for everything now. You can kill everything in the game, and I mean everything. The biggest caveat is, of course, it takes an extra 2 shots to get your hypercharged super, but it's broken. Kit is just absolutely dumb, insane broken right now. You just can't do anything really about it. A good Kit can cycle through hypercharges effectively, and the hypercharge with Kit, it's just uncounterable. How can you really counter it, especially with an invisibility gadget on top of this? So yeah, it's a couple of counters out there in terms of like the Kit cheesy compositions. Like if you play Knockout and Bounty, you might see Kit paired with like tanks. There's Cordelis and Charlie to counter that, but currently with the hypercharge Kit, you can play Kit as an assassin. I just hate it when Kit's an assassin. It just doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, there's a bug right now which makes Kit even better. But even without this bug, I think Kit would be like a top 5 brawler in the game easily, because the hypercharged super was still just not nerfed enough. You can cycle through to it way too much. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. So I think there's no new brawlers in the top 15. Again, I think I was very disappointed with these nerfs. I mean, they were like okay nerfs, like they weren't like horrible, but they just, I could tell there just wasn't enough to shift up the meta whatsoever. So I was very disappointed. There's a lot of brawlers on this list that need heavier nerfs. You know, for example, like Bonnie, the nerf wasn't enough. Cordelis didn't receive a nerf crazy enough. You've got Lumi that didn't receive a nerf crazy enough. She's been meta for so long. Jae-Young, how didn't Jae-Young get any nerfs? Kaze, how didn't Kaze get any nerfs? There's just so many brawlers that didn't receive any nerfs, which I'd just like to know the reason as to why they didn't get harsher nerfs. So, or any nerfs in particular. Right, that's going to be it for today's video. Again, a little bit disappointed there's no new brawlers here. Normally, I'm really excited about a meta shift. So the meta's basically not shifted at all. The brawlers that got a recent buff, they're better, but I don't think they're even pushing the top 15 outside of Ruffs. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.